If languages all over Eurasia are Indo-European, meaning they all descend from one language, Proto-Indo-European, does that mean there was these Proto-Indo-Europeans that were big conquerors spreading their language everywhere? I mean, that's how the Romance languages were formed, right? The conquerors spread their language and then it eventually developed into different languages. So did the Proto-Indo-Europeans do this? Well, kinda yes and kinda no. Based on linguistic and archaeological evidence, we do know that they had a warrior culture so they could be violent, and they were very mobile so they knew how to ride horses. They also seem to have eaten pretty well, which allowed for their populations to grow, and it also allowed them to be pretty strong and healthy compared to agricultural peoples who would have mostly eaten just grain. This allowed them to spread their language, culture, and genetics far and wide, but there's a catch here. As mobile pastoralists, they weren't exactly unified. While there is evidence of long-distance kinship networks around the time they first expanded, this doesn't really appear to have lasted. As time went on, different Indo-European branches grew farther and farther apart geographically and culturally. So words like conquerors or empire or even state don't really apply here. Initial Indo-European expansions aren't even really associated with long-term settlements. They fused with different peoples and cultures wherever they went, and so that's why nobody today is purely descended from Proto-Indo-Europeans or something like that. Also, on the conquering note, there's evidence that their proximity to livestock made them immune to a lot of diseases, and so when they spread it to peoples who didn't have this immunity, and that's part of the reason they were so successful.